Hello, this is the third lecture of the power supply lecture series, and in this we are going to study the filters. A filter is a device which removes the AC component of rectifier output but allows the DC component to reach the load. A filter circuit is generally a combination of inductance L and capacitor C. The filtering action of L and C depends upon the basic electrical principles. A capacitor passes AC readily but does not pass DC at all. On the other hand, an inductor opposes AC but allows DC to pass through it. It becomes clear that suitable network of L and C can effectively remove the AC component and thus allowing the DC component to reach the load. The filter circuit is installed between the rectifier and the load. The commonly used filter circuits are a capacitor filter, choke input or LC filter, or it is also called as a L section filter, and the third one is a pi section filter. Now let us see the working of all the three filters one by one. The first one is a capacitor filter. The circuit goes like this. So we have the rectified output which is given in between these two, and across this a capacitor C is connected, and across this we have a load resistance through which we just take the output. A capacitor passes AC readily but does not pass DC at all. The capacitor C is so chosen that its reactance is given by 1 upon omega C. The reactance at the frequency of AC mains is very small as compared to the load resistance RL. Then the AC components find a low reactance path through the capacitor and are mostly bypassed. So all the ripples which are coming through the output rectifier output, they are bypassed here, okay, through the capacitor C. And after the capacitor, what is passed is nothing but you have mostly the DC component. During the positive half cycle of AC, the diode D1 and D3 are forward biased, as we have seen in the action of the forward bias for full wave rectifier circuit. The diodes D1 and D3 are forward biased and the current flows through the load resistance RL. So this allows C to charge to a maximum value Vm. So it is shown like this. This allows the capacitor to charge fully till the maximum, that is P, the peak of this curve. During the negative half cycle of AC, the capacitor discharges slowly through the load resistance. This discharge is represented by this PQ. Okay, so you have charging of the capacitor maximum, then during the negative half cycle it discharges through the load, and this is the discharge taking place. So it is just represented by PQ. The discharging time constant is usually 100 times more than the charging time. Hence, C does not have sufficient time to discharge appreciably during the next positive half cycle. So it will not discharge through the complete zero, but it will discharge only through this much part. During the next positive half cycle, when the rectifier voltage exceeds the capacitor voltage represented by Q, Capacitor C is again charged quickly to the maximum, that is up to the R point, up to the voltage Vm as represented by R. During the next negative half cycle, C discharges through RL to the point S. Correct? So you have, this is again the discharging of the capacitor through RL to S. In this way, nearly constant DC voltage is applied. Now what will be the voltage pattern? So we have this one, then the voltage drops like this, again reaches the maximum, drops like this, reaches the maximum, drops like this. So this wave pattern, it is shown in this diagram here. So we have the output like this, then discharges, output like this, discharges like this. So this will give you the filtered output. So all these ripples which are shown in this diagram, these ripples are removed and you get almost a constant DC voltage here. The output voltage waveform is as shown in the figure here, and we have the ripple factor is given to be equal to 1 upon 4 root 3 FC into RL. So this ripple factor, it is depending upon the frequency of the input, the C value and the load resistance that we are choosing here. So this is the working of the capacitor filter. Then we have what is called as a choke input or LC filter. A typical choke input filter with full wave bridge rectifier is as shown in the figure. It consists of a choke or inductance L connected in series with the rectifier output. Okay. And a filter capacitor C is connected across the load resistance RL and the output is taken across the load resistance RL here. So this is your output. The pulsating output of the rectifier is applied to the choke filter circuit as shown in figure. The rectifier output contains both AC and DC components. The choke offers a high opposition for the passage of AC component but a negligible opposition for the DC component. The result is most of the AC components appear across the choke, whereas DC passes through the choke. Okay, they are blocked. AC components are blocked here, but the DC component is passed through the choke on its way to the load resistance. Then a capacitor C is introduced in its path such that its capacitive reactance is smaller than the load resistance always. Hence the remaining AC component after C, after it passes L, some AC component is remaining. So those AC components are bypassed through this C. Okay. At the same time, DC component is prevented from passing through the capacitor C. Hence, only DC component reaches the load resistance RL here. However, a small amount of ripple may remain with the output, but it is less than 1% of the steady value. The ripple factor is given as equal to 1 upon 6 root 2 omega square into L into C. So it is depending upon the value of again the frequency, the inductance value and the capacitor value, and the output waveform is as shown in figure. This is the voltage axis and this is the time axis. So this is the original, or this is the waveform of a rectifier output, which is a pulsating DC. But after passing through the choke input or the LC filter, you get the voltage almost constant. Very negligible ripples are present in this, correct? So this will give you the output waveform of a choke input or LC filter circuit. Then you have the third one, which is called as a pi section filter. So in a pi section filter, the circuit is again as shown in figure. When higher output voltage at higher loads is desired, then an input capacitor is added. This input capacitor, it is added to L section filter to form a pi section. So this you can see the capacitor C1 here, capacitor C2 here, and you have an inductance in between. So this looks like the letter pi. So therefore it is called as a pi section filter. In this filter, the capacitor C1 offers a low reactance to AC component obtained from the rectifier output, while it offers high reactance to the DC component. In this way, C1 bypasses considerable amount of AC component to the ground. Okay. So whatever ripples are present in the rectified output, considerable amount of the AC component is bypassed through C1 to the ground here. So whatever reaches the inductance is majority of the DC portion is passed towards the inductance. The DC component moves towards the inductance L. The inductor allows DC component to pass through it while blocks the remaining AC component which could not be filtered by C1. The capacitor C2 again bypasses the final remaining AC component which could not be filtered by the inductor L. Now only DC is available at the output. So whatever comes out of this after C2, so this is nothing but only the DC output. All the pulsation or the ripples, they are removed from this by both the actions, that is C1, C2 as well as L here. During each conduction interval, the capacitor C1 charges almost to the peak here, almost to the peak. Between the successive charging and discharging processes, the voltage remains very near to the peak. Okay, it will be very near to the peak. So you get charge, discharge, etc. So the voltage remains very near to the peak value. The remaining pulsations are opposed by the series choke L and bypassed to the ground by the capacitor C2. In this way, this filter produces unidirectional output voltage across the load RL with very negligible ripples. Almost it is a constant value. See, the action is better than a capacitor filter and a choke input filter here. So you get a almost say steady value of the output voltage, and the ripple factor is given to be equal to 1 upon 4 root 2 omega cube C1 C2 L RL. So it is depending upon omega is the, which again in turn depends upon the frequency of the input signal, the value of the capacitor C1, capacitor C2, inductor L, and also the load resistance RL. So it depends upon all these factors. So the ripple factor is very negligible in case of the pi section filter. Now once we know the action of all the three filters, we can just see the comparison between that is the capacitor filter, LC filter and the pi section filter. So for the capacitor filter, we have the ripple factor varies inversely as the load resistance. So it is given by gamma equal to 1 upon 4 root 3 Fc into RL. In the LC filter, the ripple factor is independent of the load resistance. That is, there is no load resistance RL in this equation. So it is given by 1 upon 6 root 2 omega square LC. In the pi section filter, again the ripple factor varies inversely as the load resistance. So it is 1 upon 4 root 2 omega cube C1 C2 L into RL. So it is inversely proportional to RL again. Then in the capacitor filter, the voltage regulation is poor, whereas LC filter, the voltage regulation is fair. Again in the pi section filter, the voltage regulation is poor. Then in the capacitor filter, we have output voltage is high, whereas in LC filter, output voltage is low. And in pi section filter also, the output voltage is low. So that is the comparison between the three filter actions. But looking at the minimum ripples, we have the pi section filter is better in all the three filters here. And always for a regulated power supply, we use a pi section filter, which is made up of the two capacitors and an inductor in between. Correct? So that is the comparison between the three. So now the third and the last part of the regulated power supply is nothing but the voltage regulator circuit. And these voltage regulator circuits, they are always consisting of a Zener diode. So what is a Zener diode? The working of the Zener diode and Zener diode as a voltage regulator. So these all things we will learn in our next lecture of this lecture series. So thank you for now.